If this thought is arising again and again in your mind that the exam is about to come, only 1 month is left for the exam, so I have not studied anything and how will I cover everything in such a short time? So today you must watch this video of Motivation Loving channel till the last, because in this video I am going to tell you 5 things, and I can say with confidence that if you have followed these 5 things, then no matter what you have done now, what have you read till now? It doesn't matter that there is only 1 month for the exam, the only condition is to listen to these 5 things carefully. And you also have to follow these 5 things. Before telling 5 tips, one more thing. I want to tell you that until your exam is completed, lock yourself alone in a room for a few days, where you will not be disturbed. There should be no one to do it. First and foremost, what do you want to study? Because there is only 1 month for the exam, and until you do not know what to study, then how will you start? If you think that you will go astray after reading the whole syllabus, or you will remember everything after studying continuously for 1,515 hours, so my friend, it is very difficult to complete the syllabus in 1 month. Even if you read completely, you will not be able to remember that much. That's why in this 1 month you have to read only the questions of the last 10 years which have come in the exam, and you don't have to read them at all. You have to memorize them very well, because 70 to 80% of your questions will come from these. If your syllabus has not changed, then if you do not believe, then confirm with your teacher once, and if you believe, buy the papers of the last 10 years and bang them by rote. After that, if you think I can remember more, then pick up their mother-in-law, which you think is important from exam point of view. For this you can take the advice of your teacher. Now you know what is reading. Now comes the second point. You have to decide that how many hours you have to study daily in this 1 month, because it is not yet a full year. You have the ability to score well by studying for 4 or 5 hours daily. So how many hours to study is very important. To score well. See, you can study more according to your capacity, but for this 1 month you have to study at least 10 hours daily. But studying for 10 hours does not mean that you wake up at 10 a.m., take bath, wash, eat food and sit down from 12 p.m. You can never study continuously till 10 p.m., that too when you have just started studying. That's why you have to study like a top. Means you have to divide these 10 hours into pieces. After every 2 hours you have to take a break of 20-25 minutes. By doing this you will be able to read properly. You will also remember very well what you read. Just within every 2 hours you have to study with full concentration. If you assume 2 hours of rest, then even after what you take in between, you are left with 12 hours. In these 12 hours, 7 hours of sleep is sufficient for you. You can take the remaining 5 hours in your other works. Now comes the third point, which is very important to remember well, because if you do not remember what you have read, then there is no point in studying. That's why the third point is that what is your study time? We have decided that we have to study for minimum 10 hours. Now out of these 10 hours, you can study for 7 hours according to your own. But you have to study for 3 hours from 5 to 8 in the morning, and you have to sleep at 10 o'clock in the night. I will also tell you its benefits, because when you wake up early in the night, you will be able to wake up early in the morning, and in the meantime you must have had 7 hours of sleep, and within these 7 hours the melatonin hormone released in your body has disappeared all your tiredness. And when you wake up at 5 a.m. with a very fresh mind and start your studies, then the things you remembered in the meantime will be printed in your mind. One more thing, at 10 o'clock you can think only when you study with full concentration and complete whatever you had to study today till 10 o'clock, otherwise you can study even after 10 o'clock. It depends on your capacity. Look, in the first point we have completed what to study. In second point we talked about how many hours to study, and in third point we talked about what time to study. Now comes the fourth point. How do we study? If this is not known, then water will go back on all the 3 points behind. So, in the fourth point, first of all, which is the place of your study? You have to find a place where no one disturbs you. For that either you sit in the library and study, or lock yourself alone in a room and then study. Secondly, you should not study while sitting in bed. If you study while sitting in bed, you will get gluten, You will feel sleepy and you will fall asleep, so it is best if you have a table and chair, then study sitting on it. And if not, then walk down a carpet or something else and sit on it and study. Thirdly, in the morning, why should you study that or that topic which you find difficult? And before sleeping at night, you have to make a timetable for the next day and what questions you have to cover the next day. And after that, close all the books, close your eyes and try to remember what you have read, what topics you have cleared in the whole day today, and go to sleep remembering it. By doing this you will be able to remember the things read for a long time.